From your eighth notes, right?
Right. In order to get eighth notes, I have to remove some water here.
So try to follow it. 10 minutes.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, we have 5 minutes left.
Yes.
We have time to do one of these things. Gary Owen or voluntary?
Voluntary is better.
Voluntary.
I think.
Okay.
This place
We'll
out
just
here.
wait for pomp and circumstance.
Just wait for
Voluntary.
pump goes up.
When you guys are ready.
Crap.
Oh, crap. I don't know if I have that.
Which?
What?
I don't know if I have the voluntary.
On old 100?
My voluntary is inside.
Uh-oh.
Crud.
Okay, Gary Owen it is.
I am so sorry, guys.
Sorry. You got Gary Owen?
Okay. Remember, straight turn, no repeats. I mean, with repeats.
All repeats
No
are good.
DC.
No DC.
Okay.
Wait, sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. It's like serving when the other guys are ready. Just go ahead. Ready? Okay. Well, it happens.
Okay. Now that we're warmed up.
I needed the third valve. All of a sudden, it didn't come up. Sometimes you just need a third valve. You don't worry, sometimes.
That's why I have 5 in case one wears out.
Yeah. Okay. Huh? And we're pretty close right now. 344. So it's 123, is that right?
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Shaking it out.
Hey, Chuck? Will you take it there?
What's that? I didn't hear you.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Purdue University Northwest. Will those who are able please stand for the singing of our national anthem?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, who were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Chancellor Keehan, the convocation of Purdue University Northwest's 8th commencement is assembled. Please be seated.
Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to welcome you to this commencement exercise, the culmination of Purdue Northwest student success, and indeed one of the proudest days in the lives of our graduates and their families. For those of you sitting in pods, if you're fully vaccinated, feel free to remove your masks. For today's commencement, some of you have traveled across town, others from across the world, and many from places in between. Today is a day of celebration and recognition, a day of applauding achievement, and a day of proud reflection, and perhaps even shedding a tear or two of joy. And of course, this is the day you receive your cherished diploma. Candidates, I applaud you on your hard work, determination, and sacrifice. Parents, grandparents, other family members, and friends, I also applaud you for your hard work, determination, and sacrifice. Graduation is not a celebration exclusive to those receiving a diploma. Before we continue this celebration, I invite our graduate candidates to offer their heartfelt, thankful applause to those that supported them who are parents, family, and friends who otherwise helped make this day possible. Candidates, you may have noticed some of our graduates are wearing a gold stole with the emblems of the 5 armed forces branches, signifying that they are veterans of the U.S. Armed Forces. We would be honored if all servicemen and women present would stand so that we could recognize you and express our sincere gratitude for your service. Please stand. My lone instruction of the day is to ask that all in attendance be respectful as we read the names of each graduate so that each of you will hear the name of your graduate. Thank you for that. Several individuals whose leadership is vital to Purdue University Northwest are seated on the platform or in the front row. Inasmuch as they will not be introduced later, I want to take this opportunity to introduce them to you now. As I do, I will ask each of them to stand and remain standing, and I invite all of you to recognize them with your applause after I have completed the list. Our Chair of Faculty Senate and Grand Marshal, Dr. Libby Pelter. Vice Chancellor for Administration and Finance, Mr. Stephen Turner. Vice Chancellor for Enrollment Management and Student Affairs, Ms. Yolanda Mosley. Vice Chancellor for Institutional Advancement and Chief of Staff, Dr. Lisa Goodnight. The presenter of the candidates is Dr. Colin Fewer. He is also our Dean of Students. Outstanding, dedicated faculty serve the students of Purdue University Northwest. Through teaching, research, engagement, our faculty enrich the learning and further student success. For that, I invite the members of our hardworking faculty to stand and be recognized with your applause. Faculty. It is my great pleasure to introduce Stuart McMillan as our guest speaker this afternoon. Stuart is a leader in the Northwest Indiana community and a philanthropist, as well as a proud alum of Purdue Northwest. He is Chairman Emeritus of Task Force Tips, Inc., an innovative company based in Valparaiso that designs and manufactures life-saving firefighting equipment. Stuart has been involved with the fire industry since childhood. By age 14, he became involved with the Gary Fire Task Force, where his father, Clyde McMillan, served as chief. Stuart graduated from PNW in 1977 with the first interdisciplinary degree in engineering issued at the Hammond campus. Like many of you, he earned his degree while working full-time, joining his father and his brother in the family business. Task Force Tips, under his leadership, the company grew from $1 million in annual sales to $60 million in annual sales with 260 employees and distributions worldwide. Stewart established the Macmillan Family Foundation to fund training opportunities for first responders in Northwest Indiana. Out of that effort evolved the multi-agency academic cooperative named MAC, M-A-A-C, or Mac, as in his dad, M-A-C-K, to honor Stewart's father. Under the leadership of the MAC Board of Directors, the training campus has grown to serve hundreds of police, fire, and EMS first responders on a daily basis. Stewart also is a great supporter of PNW and our students. He and his wife, Catherine, made it possible to establish the PNW Design Studio, where ideas flow, in our School of Engineering. In making the gift, Stewart stated that he wanted to impact the lives of today's PNW students while expanding entrepreneurial opportunities in the region. We're very grateful for his support to PNW and to the Northwest Indiana community. Stewart and Catherine have 2 children, Kelly and Ian, and a grandson, appropriately named Mac. So I bring to you Stewart McMillan.
It was 1977 when I sat where you sit today. I am very proud to be allowed to share this special day with you, and I want to thank you, Chancellor Keon, for this opportunity and for this honor. I have a very good sense of what you went through to be here today. I commuted that Borman back and forth every day, sometimes many times a day, from Hobart to Hammond when it was just 2 lanes. I juggled working full-time with class scheduling. Some people think commuting to college is the easy way out. After all, you're in your own bed every night, right? Yes, you are. And along with it, you're embroiled in your work and all family dynamics, as well as having to accomplish your classwork. It's the hard way to get an education, but you have done it. And today, you are all champions. Today is a day to pause and reflect on just how far you've come and what you have accomplished. A day to thank all that helped you achieve this goal. A day to put down your backpack and rest so that I may take the opportunity to stuff just a couple of suggestions into that backpack for you to continue with on your life's journey. When I started here in 1972, my first introduction to a computer was a monster in the basement of the now gone Geit building. We shoved cardboard cards through holes punched in the wall. Think about it. It ate them and gave them back as sheets of green bar paper. It didn't even have a screen. Think about that. No screen, no interaction with the big green machine, no feedback, and the best day output of the day was a dot matrix character on a green bar paper that frequently said syntax error. It was a terrible way to interact with a computer, so terrible that as I stood in line to receive my diploma, I bet the person standing next to me $100 that I would never touch a computer the rest of my life. It was okay to say something so totally dumb. I hadn't gotten my diploma yet, so I was not declared educated. I paid that bet 25 years later, and I did not pay interest. Who could dream at the time that the monster in that basement would be reduced to the palm of our hand, be a camera, a music player, a recorder, a research tool, and a host of other things, all run by a battery and stuffed in our pocket? In 1977, a calculator that could do a square root was $180, and those were dollars worth twice what they are today. The technology that we hold in our hand today was totally unimaginable in 1977, and the rate of change is exponential. What we will have in 50 years will be many times more unimaginable than that we have today. We certainly live in interesting times, and it will only get more interesting and exciting. You are all blessed to be starting your careers in this time. School, college, is very different from the real world. You are given inputs to a problem, you solve the problem, and then you look up the answer to make sure it's right. Everyday life is quite different. You're given lots of inputs, many which you do not need. You must figure out how to solve the problem, and then you wait to see if you have the right answer. It requires some additional skills in the backpack to navigate successfully and without regrets. I would like to share with you some of the things that I have learned along the way that have allowed me to have a career without regrets. It all starts with integrity in absolutely everything you do. It's not like sneaking a donut knowing that tomorrow no one will know. You will know you ate the donut, and you will know when you've acted outside of integrity. Live your career such that you never ever feel the need to cross the street to avoid a difficult conversation. And find mentors. Find mentors before you need them. Not friends that will tell you what you want to hear, mentors that will tell you what you need to hear. People that can teach you the things you need to know as your career progresses. A great way to learn about what you need in a mentor is to offer to be one to those in need. Sometimes it just requires listening and caring to help someone out of a difficult situation. I have had many, many mentors over my career, and I stand here today positively sure that without them, I would not have been successful. Be willing to be wrong. Leaders are not expected to have all the answers, but they are expected to have the integrity to admit when they do not, and the integrity to admit when they're wrong. The people you lead will follow you on your journey only if they have trust in you. Trust that when you know the answer, you will act, and trust that when you do not know the answer, you will ask for help, their help. Being vulnerable and being able to say, I don't know, is the ultimate demonstration of leadership, and you cannot be a leader without at the same time being vulnerable. And talk to everyone. I learned from my mother that spontaneously talking with strangers opens doors that are amazing. My mother could get into an elevator and by the 4th floor know all the kids' names, know their life history, and have a dinner appointment with them for later. When you are alone in a hotel breakfast nook and you see someone also alone, ask if you can join them. Don't let the fact that they have their phone out and look totally engaged deter you. If you ask politely, may I join you? They can just as easily say no, but 9 times out of 10, they will invite you to join them. And the things that will come from those engagements are magical. Our phones are great tools, but they have become human shields. Any strength that you overuse becomes a weakness. Phones do not make things happen, people do, so engage them. If you find it hard to make the first step, let me help you by giving you a phrase that is a universal key to the human lock. Simply say, what are you excited about today? I have used it over and over, and it does more than break ice, it melts it. If I had more time, I could give you dozens of examples where these conversations have fundamentally changed the course of my life. And finally, I will give you what I think is one of the most important things that I ever learned. It came from the CEO of a company that I admire. and I implore you to develop some variation of this habit. Every night when you retire for the day, take just a few minutes to think back through the interactions of that day. Identify the ones that you could have done better at, been more considerate, maybe more patient, more understanding. Make a note of that person's name and record it in your favorite app. And the next day, as soon as practical, call that person, or much better yet, find that person and sincerely apologize. Tell them you are sorry and that you want to be better, and most importantly, ask them for their help. You will be amazed and pleased by the reactions you get, the feedback you get, and most importantly, it will guide you to the kind of humility that true leaders find their power in. I have been a pilot for over 30 years. It's one of the most amazing freedoms that Americans have. It's a tradition amongst flight instructors to hand over the newly printed license to the newly licensed pilot with this statement: "This is your license to learn." Today, Purdue Northwest is granting you your license to learn. Leverage it wisely with integrity as you play the game of life. I hope it serves you very well as it served me. Revel in this moment. Share with the people that have helped you, inspired you, encouraged you, and supported you. Together with them, you have all earned this. And when you pick up that backpack, be careful. It'll be a little bit heavier now. It has thoughts about living every day with integrity, finding mentors, admitting you're wrong, and being humble, along with talking to everyone. My congratulations to all of you, the class of 2021.
I'm sure all of you have a heavy backpack. I know I do, particularly when I put my laptop in it. But after listening to what Stu had to say, with great value from the experiences he has, I know it's going to be very hard for me to tote my home later today. Would you again thank Stu with me for having him speak today? For the introduction of academic degrees, I now invite Dr. Michael Pelter, representing the Purdue Northwest faculty, to the podium.
The conferral of academic degrees is a critical responsibility. The accomplishment which signifies that the degree recipients have successfully completed a sufficiently rigorous and enlightening curriculum of courses that provides appropriate preparation to assume roles of contribution, responsibility, and leadership that advance our society. The faculty of Purdue University Northwest has evaluated the academic accomplishments of the candidates presented here today and concluded that, pending the completion of any final outstanding requirements, each of these candidates meets the criteria for receiving a Purdue University degree. Based on that conclusion, the faculty recommends to the trustees of Purdue University that the appropriate degrees be conferred. We have assembled here to celebrate that conferral. Congratulations.
Welcome, everyone. Just before we get started, we do have a little rain today, so the commencement committee would kindly ask everyone who has an umbrella deployed Just for the period that the candidates are crossing the stage, if you could please fold your umbrella so that nobody misses their baby crossing the stage and getting their degree. All other times, it's fine to have the umbrella up. If you prefer not to fold your umbrella down, if you could please move to the back, staff will assist you. We want everyone to stay comfortable and warm as much as possible. It looks like the moisture has stopped a little bit, so hopefully it stays that way. Thank you. And now Dr. Rebecca Stankowski, Associate Vice Chancellor for Institutional Effectiveness, representing Graduate Studies, will present the candidates for the master's degree.
Will the candidates for the master's degree please stand? These students have successfully fulfilled the requirements for the master's degree. Each wears a hood, recognizing his or her academic discipline and symbolizing the completion of that advanced degree. With the approval of the faculty, they are now presented to receive their degrees.
We are honored that Trustee DeKruiger, on behalf of the trustees of Purdue University, is here today to confer degrees. Trustee DeKruiger, please join me at the podium.
Candidates, observing the respected custom of institutions of higher learning and exercising the authority of the trustees of Purdue University, legally vested by the people of the state of Indiana, and upon the recommendation of the faculty, I now confer upon you, who have fulfilled the requirements, the master's degree, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. I also solemnly place upon you those obligations which you must henceforth assume as a holder of the master's degree. As evidence of your ability to fulfill the requirements and obligations of this degree, you will now receive your diploma.
Will Candidate Marshal Mr. Maceo Rainey please escort the candidates for master's degrees forward to receive their diplomas? And as the candidates make their way to the stage, please note they'll be crossing in a random order. Barbara Nicolai. David Olson. Helen Curtis. Dolores Wagner. Nupur Singh. Venkata Gita Devi Mandala. Rishita Sunduri. Dikshita Reddy. Divya Ravindra. Anastasia Ahern. Jadrian Doss. Skylar Vardaman. Salvador Cordova. Alexis Mason. Julia Cook-Jones. Megan Gliva. Danielle Page. Caitlin Skorecki. Kimberly Smee. Megan Spence. Amitav Goswami. Benjamin Hitchinsky. Diana Villacres Paredes. Andres Yara. Stephanie Janeth Vinuenza Maldonado. Akanksha Dixit. Arturo Garcia. Lance Natonsky. Marian Sitnikowski. Amal Hashim Al-Hassan. Saad Salim Syed. Brittany Sales. Carlos Martinez. Nick Sanchez. Caitlin Gloff. Tyru Jazadis. Anita Chowdhury Mutiala. Kartik Pamartri. Krishnasai Spandana Yargada. Ojaswi Dogra. Sri Narmada Numakonda. Ali Habib Al-Miskin. Nasser Zah Al-Nazi. Syed Khalilullah. Angel Lozano Galarza. Vaishali Varshni. Garvid Agrawal. Alan Rosenblit. Chioma Anokutwe. Sudha Reddy. Tony Deere. Ramesh Babu Govindula.
Congratulations, master's degree graduates.
And now Dr. Chris Holford, Provost and Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, will recognize distinguished undergraduate students.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my joy and privilege to provide special recognition to those individuals receiving baccalaureate degrees who have demonstrated outstanding scholastic achievement. The commencement booklet contains a statement of the basis upon which the status of distinction and highest distinction is determined. Candidates are wearing black and gold cords to symbolize this achievement. I invite the degree candidates who are graduating with highest distinction to please stand and remain standing. I also invite the degree candidates who are graduating with distinction to please stand and remain standing. On behalf of the trustees of Purdue University and the faculty of Purdue University Northwest, I congratulate you on your outstanding academic records. May you continue to be motivated by excellence and high standards in your quest to make positive contributions throughout your life. I invite the distinguished candidates to be seated. I now introduce the Dean of the Honors College, Dr. Jonathan Schwartz, who will recognize candidates of the Honors College.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to recognize the candidates from the Honors College. I invite the Honors College candidates to please stand and remain standing. Provost Holford, these students have fulfilled the graduation requirements of the Honors College, including completion of the academic curriculum and related coursework, substantive research in their areas of discipline, service engagement with the local community, and leadership experience across a range of diverse areas. These students have received and are wearing the Honors College medallions on gold and black ribbons. Would you please join me in recognizing these candidates? I invite the Honors College candidates to now be seated.
At this time, I'm pleased to facilitate recognition of those individuals who have qualified to receive the Purdue University Northwest Chancellor's Medallion. The Chancellor's Medallion is presented to the graduating students who have achieved the highest grade point averages within each of the academic colleges of Purdue University Northwest. We would like to present each of these graduates to you at this time. I now invite Shelby Clark of the College of Business to please come to the stage with Jeff Clark. I also invite the Clark family members to stand and share in this recognition. I now invite Kyle Kelly of the College of Business to please come to the stage with Emily and Redding Kelly. I also invite the Kelly family members to stand and share in this recognition. I now invite Haley Arliss of the College of Business to please come to the stage with John Arliss. I also invite the Arliss family members to stand and share in the recognition. I invite Reagan Sink of the College of Engineering and Sciences to please come to the stage with Randy Sink. I also invite the Sink family members to stand and share in this recognition. I invite Emily Higley of the College of Engineering and Sciences to please come to the stage with James Higley. I also invite the Higley family members to stand and share in this recognition. I invite Yash Patel of the College of Technology to please come to the stage with Gunvant Bhai Patel. I also invite the Patel family members to share in this recognition. Ladies and gentlemen, I now introduce Dean Lawrence Hamer to present the candidates for baccalaureate degrees in the College of Business.
I am pleased and proud to present the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees in the College of Business. I invite the candidates to stand and remain standing.
Ladies and gentlemen, I now introduce Dean Niaz Latif to present the candidates for baccalaureate degrees in the College of Engineering and Sciences.
I am pleased and proud to present the candidates for baccalaureate degrees in the College of Engineering and Sciences. I invite the candidates to stand and remain standing.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dean Latif will present the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees in the College of Technology.
I am pleased and proud to present the candidates for baccalaureate degrees in the College of Technology. I invite the candidates to stand and remain standing.
Chancellor Keon, these students have successfully fulfilled the requirements of undergraduate curricula in their respective colleges. Having gained approval for graduation by each of the college faculties, I now present them to you to award their degrees.
Trustee DeKruiger, please join me at the podium.
Observing the respected custom of institutions of higher learning and exercising the authority of the trustees of Purdue University, legally vested by the people of the state of Indiana, and acting on behalf of the faculty of this institution, I now confer upon you who have fulfilled the requirements the appropriate baccalaureate degree with all the rights and privileges appertaining thereto. I also solemnly place upon you those obligations which you must henceforth assume as a holder of these degrees. As evidence of your ability to fulfill the requirements and obligation of this degree, you will now receive your diploma.
Will each college marshal now escort the baccalaureate degree graduates forward to receive their diplomas. As the candidates make their way across the stage, please note that they're crossing in a random order. Graduates, please be seated until your row is called.
And now the graduates of the College of Engineering and Sciences, escorted by Candidate Marshal Mr. Patrick Lesser. Reagan Sink. Emily Higley. Alexis Pepper. Jordan Nickel. Jacob Dockery. Philip Dinga. Tiberius Torres. Nicholas Kisman. Christopher Turner. Antonio Rodriguez. Megan Obaida. Sungyeon Oh. Jasmine Munoz. Brianna Pardis. Sydney Camacho. Madeline Palachuk. Christine Leach. Esmeralda Alverde Guzman. Tiffany Aguero. Annabelle Engel. Andrew Kane. Dylan Hayes. Abdullah Albarini. Eliasart Rodriguez. Miguel Palacios. Jeremy Schultz. Connor Behrens. Alan Murray. William Stratton. Kristen Mann. Levi Tompkins. Khadija Mohammed Al-Shakal. Jessica Valdez. Natasha Woodard. Mitchell Forrester. Christopher Boone. Stephen Donovan. Anthony Lomelli. Jeffrey Osmolsky. Moises Picasso. Guillermo Hernandez. Ridwan Rahman. Anthony Smirchek. Jalyn Shavers. Alejandro Alvarez. Karen LeBoy. Rebecca Mathis. Trina Cook. Oscar Martinez. Daniel Schreiner. Anthony Fadke Giblin. Aaron Lee. Zakira Jordan. Bridget Zavaleta. Selena Canuto. Rebecca Darlene Collins. Kristen Cook. Caitlin Fletcher. Elizabeth Griffith. Richard Larson. Danielle Witten. Caitlin Wilcher. Marwan Awad. Kaylee Mitchell. Ana Gabriela Reyes. Emily Bratcher. Samantha Peach. Timothy Bacchus. Jonathan Taylor. Danielle Fowler. Sarah Martinez. David Rosa. Jonathan Flores. Joseph Madrigal. Casper Rusin. Jack Downs. Hugh Wynn. Jonathan Nouri. Michael Shumlis. Luke Watkins. Zachary Pinkston. Nicholas Nichol. James Kowalski. Violet Urban. Matthew Michelle. Ross Smith. Dakota Sampson. Joseph Cullinan. Jose Abarca Martinez. Andrew Norville. Jacob Smith. Matthew Mourion. DeAndre Lynch. Anthony Acapelli. Enrique Serna. Yasmin Ode. Tyler Sofa. Benjamin Milishoff. Brandon Hazinski. Alexander Plies. Mike Lindemann. Bianca Bernal. Jared Pollock. Joshua Price. Matthew Wright. Erica Moore. Madison Blythe. Rachel Pash. Christian Ramirez. Nizreen Isa. Arij Saleh. Sarah Hernandez. Candace Chandler. Sydney Velisca. Dylan Henson. Zachary Rowe. Nathaniel Doan. Hannah Weissman. Adam Hume. Daniel Herrera. Christian Medrano. Amjad Al-Shamaila. Wamaka Wanunu. Sydney Roberson. Matthew Kozlowski. Taylor Kroon. Luis Regatas. Syed Arshian Zaidi. James Wright. Irina Dinu. Anthony Rodriguez. Karina Silva. Serena Thomas. Deanna Bolaños. Christian Simmons. Claudia Gonzalez. Crislin Wilson. And ladies and gentlemen, please join me in celebrating the graduates of the College of Engineering and Sciences. Make some noise. And now the graduates of the College of Business, escorted by Candidate Marshal Miss Africa Powell. I need it. Shelby Clark. Kyle Kelly. Haley Arliss. Amber South. Christian Pena. Kenise Jameson. Riley Opilka. Carlos Naranjo. Orlando Cano. Jose Carrero Sayago. Ina Moraine Ramos. Maria Ivic. Madeline Long. Nicholas Buell. Kristen Thompson. Hannah Yvette. Christian Rosta. Brittany Delrose. Alexis Gorell. Kaylee Cadell. Nicole Santana. Ali Zakis. Maharshi Patel. Mitchell Ackerman. Noel Lulsdorf. Brianna Cardonia Arroyo. Jessica Lavelle. Nicholas Sims. Armando Perales. Andrew Steingass. Brandon Ritter. Adriana Garcia. Gabriela Alvarez. Victor Salgado. Wyatt Trevino. Tricia Marlowe. Priscilla Obingmensa. Anthony Marzilli. Adam Maduros. Megan Simons. Sally Bibb. Sarah Painter. Naya Moore. Nicola Mucheski. David Long. Hunter Bryack. Nicholas Donsbach. Nicholas Roker. Alexis Ford. Chris Snyder. Jacob Zasada. Shay Buchanan. Thomas Speranza. Jordan Gallardo. Daniel McGrath. Tyler Ashe. Alexis Gallegos. Kenneth Minnick. Matthew Gunya. Melissa Jones. Thomas Zimmerman. Keely Verhar. Matthew Bahena. Seth Moncado. Jorge Ariano. Zachary Sigmund. Jasmine Chairs. Brandon Tomich. Ashley Wilkerson. Patrick Konechny. Jacob Jimenez Perez. Amanda Baker. Gavin Short. Frank Seck. Ian Hines. Michael Palmer. Karen Quintana. Tui Tran. Emilio Lopez. Edgar Lopez. Felicia Bernstein. David McCormick. Allison Abraham. Griselda Arguelles. Alyssa Javier. Tylisha Bates. Janelle Taylor. Melissa Sims. Shier Jashub Ruiz. Lauren Mack. Juliet Dozier. Yahira Negron. Abigail Negri. Brett Veltema. Elizabeth Houston. Lena Van Bergen. Justin Walter. Melody Suvajek. Zachary Butcher. And ladies and gentlemen, join me in celebrating the graduates of the College of Business. Let's hear it. And now, the graduates of the College of Technology, escorted by Candidate Marshal Mr. Jonathan Dackow. Yash Patel. Joshua Thomas. Brandon Bearhead. Jonathan Dinga. Zachary Nippert. Donald Arnold. Cora Sakal. Derek Puro. Jake Batari. Marshall Newton. Brett Stevens. Tadas Palanauskas. John Frantum. Daniel Garcia. Daniel McKevley. Briel Keen Handang. Adrian Navarez. Patrick Espinosa. Miguel Rodriguez. Christopher Ramos. Anes Isa. Jonathan Dodd. Owen Starr. Jelani Hardy. Hunter Thorne. Dallin Eiler. Jasmine Hubbard. Daniel Kubiak. Darren Brown. Kyle Schaff. Christopher Shudik. Benjamin Klebs. Christian Miller. Kyle Tchaikovsky. Noah Meskel. Cheyenne Evans. Conlon Martinez. Tyler Carnivas. Ezra Liston. Jordan Olson. Stephen Grise. Zachary Sismonic. Lacey Doyle. Ryan Sparling. Tyler Lyons. Stephen Shields. Ivan Martinez. Nicholas Packwood. Andrew Collins. Cesar Egure Gonzalez. Megan Mahoney. Solomon Moreno. Felipe Hernandez. Mac Howard. Clayton Spencer. Jacob Collins. Michael Talaga. Kyle Holliker. Jacqueline Tirado. Trenton Wallstra. Cruz Medina. Christopher Koenig. Joshua Howard.
Davina Jackson. Justin Gabriel Mariano. Ali Hussein Alhaza. Montadar Al-Mutawa. Ahmed Al-Hakim. Abdulela Yosef Al-Bukshim. Mujtaba Al-Ajmi. Ahmed Mohammed Al-Moshim. Leoncio Ortiz III. Noah Holderman. Ryan Piper. Zachary Heiner. Feiwan Wang. Jasmine Marquez Rivera. Andres Minton. Brandon Wallenschmidt. Alejandro Hernandez. Mario Gomez. Bassam Ali Al-Bukaitan. Hassan Yusuf Al-Maskin. Abdul Malik Bakashwain. Galamjan Orambasarov Kubas. Alexander Brown. Ladies and gentlemen, let's celebrate the graduates of the College of Technology and all our graduates. Congratulations, everyone.
To signify completion of your degree requirements and the receipt of your diploma, I now invite all graduates to move the tassels on their mortarboards to the left side. Congratulations, you are now a Purdue Northwest graduate. To officially welcome you to the Purdue Northwest alumni contingent comprised of thousands, I invite Ms. Ashley Giordamos, Executive Director of the Purdue Northwest alumni community, to the podium.
Congratulations to the newest Purdue University Northwest alumni. I am honored to be the first to welcome you into the PNW alumni community. As graduates, you join a community of over 67,000 strong, made up of CEOs and entrepreneurs, of lawyers and advocates, of leading scholars and researchers, Emmy Award winners, mayors, state representatives, journalists, nurses, physicians, and so much more. Each a story that has added to our rich history and paved the way for future Purdue Northwest students. It doesn't seem like very long ago that I was sitting where you are today. I am a very proud 2008 Purdue Northwest graduate from the School of Hospitality and Tourism Management. I reflect fondly on my time as an undergrad. It wasn't always easy, but this is the place where I met some of my closest friends, made lifelong connections, and the place where I met my husband. When I entered the workforce, it became evident to me and my supervisors that the education I received at Purdue Northwest prepared me to succeed in my field of study and beyond. Outside of my own family, my biggest supporters I've had throughout my career have been my professors and other PNW community members. Before I returned to serve PNW, it was deeply important to me to stay connected. These people continued to be my mentors and advocates, creating new connections for me. Purdue Northwest is more than books, bricks, and mortar. Its real value is in its community of people. So my advice for you is to stay connected. Shoot a quick email to your favorite professor to check in, or let them know of the new project that you are working on. Encourage your company to recruit from PNW. Find me on LinkedIn. Keep up with what's happening here on campus and in our alumni community. Your network is strong. Stay engaged in it. You each have your own stories and connections that you have created in your time here. Now, class of 2021, go out there and continue writing your story and paving the way for future Purdue Northwest students. I am so proud to call you fellow alumni. Congratulations.
Thank you, Ashley. Ladies and gentlemen, Oriana White, Student Government President, will now respond to the graduates on behalf of all Purdue Northwest students. Oriana?
It is only after you've stepped outside your comfort zone that you begin to grow, change, and transform, said American author Roy T. Bennett. To just breeze past this year's events would be callous on my part. And while most of you may feel that you've lost experiences or opportunities as PNW students, instead, let's focus on what you've accomplished in these difficult times and all that lies ahead of you. You are the graduating class of 2021. You studied for those exams, you worked long hours on final projects, you beat the clock, you raced the clock to beat those deadlines, and you have worked hard for years to reach this point. While the picture you had in your heads for what this moment would look like now might be a little different, but it's not any less special or any less important. While change in any form can be scary and intimidating, the way the world has been over the past year makes it more difficult to cope with the change because so much has already changed before us. Do you start your career Should you continue on for another degree? What is your next step? And now you have to answer these questions in a pandemic. However, you are PNW graduates. You're ready to make these decisions, to change the world around you. You've been taught by your mentors and professors to prepare for the worst, but hope for the best. You've learned to adapt and change, to power onward. It's time to show what you are made of, to show your future selves what you, as Purdue Northwest alumni, are capable of. Barack Obama has said, change will not come if we wait for some other person, or if we wait for some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. You're in charge of how you choose to handle this crisis before you, and how you'll work around with these new restrictions to find a better world and a better way of living. As a class of 2021, you can push past these fears and these uncertainties to leave a blazing legacy in the wake of COVID-19. Nothing can stop you from reaching your goals and achieving your dreams except the fear of trying. You may need to reimagine your path to these goals. Now, but you have the extensive network you've built during your time at PNW and your newly earned degrees. So any goal you have for yourself is yours to achieve, and no one and nothing, not even a pandemic, can stop you. I'm honored to congratulate the graduating class of 2021 of Purdue University Northwest. Congratulations to each and every one of you on making it to this momentous moment.
Thank you, Oriana. As we conclude, I'd like to just say a few things to the graduates. And some of this you've heard throughout the ceremony today, but some maybe not. I would very much like to encourage all of you to be absolutely as successful as possible. One of the great things about my position is that I get to meet graduates of the university. So I get to meet people who are researchers and scholars. I get to meet people who are CEOs. I get to make a chance to meet people who are business owners like Stu McMillan. It is really great to see how the hard-working students of PNW can be successful. It's important to you, but it's important to us as well. We as a university will become stronger and stronger as you too become stronger and successful throughout your careers. In doing so, I ask you to consider bringing in interns, and when you do, bring in interns from PNW. When you're in a position to start hiring individuals, please consider hiring those that are students of PNW. This will not only help you, but it will help the university and Northwest Indiana. Finally, I would ask you to stay connected. Stay connected in many ways, not just with the university, but with all of what's around you. Some of you may stay in Northwest Indiana, some of you may move to other locations. But I urge you to get involved. Be part of the society that you live in. Contribute to making the world a better place, your city or town to be a better place. And of course, we ask you to make sure that you make PNW a better place. Congratulations once again to the graduates of Purdue University Northwest Spring Class of 2021, as well as their families. I ask that you remain seated for the processional of the platform party, the faculty, and the graduates. Ladies and gentlemen, the 8th commencement exercise of Purdue University Northwest has now concluded. Thank you.